Welcome to Tech in the Right Direction, the podcast. This week, I'll be speaking with Jennifer Murray. Jennifer entered the tech industry after college and spent over 20 years with AT&T and Cisco Systems. More recently, she pivoted to share her skills and experience with small businesses that struggle to win and retain top talent. She found that small businesses often need help discovering and promoting their employees' value proposition. Helping them through this process is magical. Welcome to the show, Jennifer. I'm so excited to have you on.
Thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here with you.
Absolutely. So let's get started. Jennifer, as a woman in tech, can you share with us your career journey and how you got to where you are today?
Absolutely. It's a long and winding road.
We'd love to hear.
I graduated with a marketing degree and hadn't planned on landing in technology, but I struggled to get my first job out of college, just like many college graduates do today.
Mm-hmm.
And I worked some temp jobs to get my foot in the door, and I found a starter job in advertising. But my big breakthrough was a former neighbor helped me get my resume evaluated by AT&T.
Mm.
And I joined a 90-day training program with AT&T.
Wow.
Yes, huge investment in their people.
Mm-hmm.
So that was an excellent way to break into a big organization and build a foundation in technology.
That's great. And 90 days of training is really great.
Right. It's so unusual now.
I know. Yeah.
So I moved from there to GTE Wireless for a short period of time, and then Cisco Systems. And both AT&T and Cisco Systems poured a lot into us from a training and development perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And it afforded me the opportunity to learn multiple business functions. I moved through the business to gain exposure and experience in sales, technical network design, sales leadership, operations, finance, training, and employee development.
Mm-hmm.
And in some of those roles, I was the only woman at the table.
Mm-hmm.
More recently, I left those big corporations and worked for a boutique insurance agency selling employee benefits and human resource services. And all of that experience in technology and working for those strong organizations armed me with a lot of tools, knowledge, and experience to help smaller businesses.
Mm-hmm.
During the pandemic, the vast majority of our clients were struggling with compliance requirements relative to COVID, and then the Great Resignation, and then struggled to find applicants to fill their open roles.
Mm-hmm.
So those types of discussions and meetings consumed me, and I moved completely into human resource services for small businesses. Some are in the technology space, some are startups, some are more mature organizations, but the common requirement is they need help with their human resources.
Yeah. And this is your own business?
This is
Nice.
Onboard Solutions.
Very, very nice. Wow. What a twisted and turned, career to get you here. But that's awesome because all that experience, everything you learned has really helped you grow.
Absolutely.
That's great. So can you share with us why it's important for companies to invest in their culture?
This might be my favorite question.
That's great because it's important, so important.
It is. Culture is table stakes now.
Mm-hmm.
Years ago, when I started my career, it was about getting an opportunity to gain experience and pay the bills.
Mm-hmm.
As I progressed in my career, I sought opportunities that were more of a culture fit. But younger generations are looking for culture early in their careers. Like right out of college, they want to find a mission driven and uh, an organization that aligns with their values.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Very important.
On the other hand, it's important for the employer to focus on culture when they're hiring people
Mm-hmm.
so that they're not hiring the wrong people. They're hiring people that are aligned with their culture.
Right.
It increases employee engagement and reduces their turnover.
Mm-hmm. How do they do that?
How do they develop a strong culture?
How do they really realize how to make sure that's part of the interview process?
Ah, there are questions now during the interview process that can help them determine if the individual has a value system that's aligned with
Mm-hmm.
their organization. It's a
Mm-hmm.
two-way street.
Yep.
So is the individual aligned? And then the individual is looking at the company and saying, are you truly aligned? Or are you telling me things that aren't in alignment with what I've heard outside of this interview, what
Mm.
I've read online as an example?
So there can't be any conflicting messages, obviously.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Consistency is key.
Mm-hmm. Very interesting. So you believe in people first. That's a mindset you really believe in. Tell us more.
I used to receive a lot of training on customer first, customers always right, focus on the
Mm-hmm.
customer.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good mentality, but I believe it's a better mentality to focus on the people who you want to care for your customers.
Mm.
If you're investing in your people, they will take care of your customers.
That's a great philosophy because you hear so much about that customer first. You're right. Customer is always right. But if you're not taking care of your people and they're not there to take care of the customers, you don't have a business.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And people that are cared for have a greater sense of pride and commitment. They're engaged in the organization and their role rather than showing up for a paycheck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so true. So, do you believe in a robust onboarding process for new hires to get them kind of soaked into the new culture? And if so, what are some of the critical parts of a robust program?
That is a critical part of the culture building experience.
Okay.
Hiring managers need to understand that the first day is their make or break opportunity.
For their
And
first impression, right?
yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes. And you have probably heard horror stories about people starting a job, the hiring manager isn't there, the doors are locked, the individual doesn't receive credentials to access the systems for several days. All of those things can be avoided by creating a plan
Mm-hmm.
and a structure around what day one looks like, what week one looks like, what the first 30 days look like. I've seen a lot of organizations create shadowing opportunities,
Mm-hmm.
which is a great way to gain exposure to
Mm-hmm.
different functions in the organization. But they need to have some structure around what the mentor is exposing the new hire to and what the new hire should be getting out of the experience.
So do you think the 30 days is enough to plan ahead for, or should they go longer?
Depending on the role, it could move into more of a training cadence. It can include a mentoring experience where there are touch points that are periodic for
Mm-hmm.
the year to come.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's job specific and organization specific.
Yep. Okay, great. Wow, so much to think about on onboarding, right?
I think that's the key, to
Mm-hmm.
think about it in advance prior to bringing that individual into your organization. Consider how that person is going to contribute and make sure that you're conveying that during the interview process
Mm-hmm.
and throughout that first period of weeks.
Now, we work a lot with women, and this podcast is focused on that. And many women don't realize their full potential. How do you help job seekers realize their full potential?
I meet job seekers from a variety of different places. One of my favorite organizations is Dress for Success.
Mm-hmm.
It's a global organization, and we coach women on finding opportunities to return to the workplace. Some of them are looking at building a resume, some are trying to navigate how to find a job,
Mm-hmm.
some need help with interviewing skills.
Mm-hmm.
So, through a 1 hour web meeting, we focus on whatever the individual needs so they can convey the skills that they bring to potential employers.
I think that's so important because women underestimate their skill set. If they're not 100% or perfect for the job, they don't want to apply. But a man, if they're 60% qualified, they will apply and get it because they're confident. Do you
That's a
see that
lot of
too?
it. Yes, it's the confidence.
Mm-hmm.
And I find that so rewarding after we spend some time together to build up confidence so they feel
Yes.
empowered to pursue
Good.
opportunities.
That's great that you're doing that. Now, Jennifer, what challenges have you faced in your career and how have you overcome them?
My biggest challenge was life balance.
Mm,
I was a single mom for most of my career, and I juggled a lot to perform as the best employee and the best mom.
mm-hmm.
I was young and I powered through it. Now, I look back and think I couldn't have done it without my extended family and my friends.
Mm-hmm.
But it's
You need a
culturally,
village.
yes, it does take a village to raise a family.
Mm-hmm.
It's more culturally acceptable now to have children in the background or in the office for a short period of time. People are much more open to hearing children,
Mm-hmm.
and it's less of a distraction than it was when I was working in a male
Mm-hmm.
dominated
Industry.
technology
Yep.
space.
Yep.
Mhm.
Very true. Very true. And you came through that with flying colors. So I'm sure your kids are grateful for that. I'm sure you're grateful for that. That's great. That's not an easy task.
It was challenging. The interesting thing is I used to bring them to work on Bring Your
Mm-hmm.
Kid to Work Day,
Mm-hmm.
and they thought my job was boring.
And you know it was everything but boring.
Now, some of them are interested in moving into technology.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's come full circle.
Well, technology in no way is boring. I can tell you that.
That's right.
If you have to just stay relevant, it is quite a full-time job. Now, this podcast is focused around bridging culture, pay, and employment gap for women in tech. What are you seeing in the industry today from your lens? And I also recently heard that North Carolina is one of the top states for women in tech. Tell us more.
Yes. My answer is a mixed bag.
Mm-hmm.
You are spot on with North Carolina as a leader in this space.
Mm-hmm.
We recently ranked number 2 across the country for employing women in technology.
That's great. Good to hear.
It is. Women represent about 36.5% of the workforce.
Mm-hmm.
North Carolina also ranks number 3 for the highest growth rate in STEM education
Wow.
completions.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, over the previous 5 years. So we are moving in the right direction. McKinsey reported back in October that women are switching out of their careers more than men.
Mm.
And I see that as problematic because young people, young women really need strong mentors and are
Mm-hmm.
looking for female leaders. So that's part of the mixed bag. But my message to young girls is that technology might not sound like it's as much fun as something like social media management,
Mm-hmm.
but there are a wide range of jobs in technology, which increases your opportunity to find your fun job working in an organization that is continuously growing, changing, and providing new opportunities.
I'm so glad you said that because, people think technology is becoming a programmer. And you don't have to be a programmer. There are so many different jobs in the technology industry that are really well suited for women too. Research and development, sales, all kinds of positions. So think of technology as a pretty broad bag.
Yes, focus on the opportunity in that space rather than just a specific role.
Job role. Yep.
Mhm.
Yep. I like that. So, leadership training is very important for women, for men, for everybody, so that we can kind of put aside our biases and learn to lead with passion, empathy, those types of things. What types of leadership training do you recommend?
What I've seen most recently is a gap for first-time managers.
Mm-hmm.
Some of it is necessitated from promotions due to the difficulty in filling roles brought on by the Great Resignation.
Mm-hmm.
So individual contributors were promoted to management positions, and in many cases, they didn't have any kind of training, tools, resources, or mentors in a formalized program to help them pivot to a role of leading a team versus contributing as an individual.
Mm-hmm.
So this is an area that needs focus now to help organizations continue to grow with the right kind of culture, with a leadership culture versus a management.
Yeah, there's a difference between managers and leaders, and the job role is very different too. So, women need to aspire to the leadership side rather than management side, I think. What are your thoughts on that?
Absolutely.
Mhm.
And it's more than a single class
Yes.
to drive the behavioral change that organizations need. It needs
Hmm.
to be a longer term program and investment.
Hmm. Yeah, it's so important. All right. My next question is very selfish because I love to travel and I know you like to travel as well. So, where is your favorite place that you've been to and you loved and why?
This is a wonderful question. Have you been to the Amalfi Coast?
I have not. I've been to Italy, but not the Amalfi Coast.
Add it to your
I am
list.
going to add it. Yes. So tell me why. Tell me what captured your heart.
I like to hike,
Mm-hmm.
and we went to Boomerano and
Mm-hmm.
hiked the Path of Gods.
Oh my gosh, that is so fabulous.
Can you even imagine
I
hiking the
can't even
Path of
imagine.
Gods? It was somewhat challenging, but the view was incredible.
Mm,
And at the end of the path, there was a small shack-like cafe
hmm
with this elder couple that greeted us and served fresh caprese salad and
Oh,
really cold beer.
mm.
They were such great hosts and hostesses. And on the way out, they offered us a shot of limoncello.
Oh my gosh, that would have done it.
What a perfect experience.
Yes, yes. And I really believe that the best vacations or the best travel places are the people that you're with, the atmosphere, what you're eating, what you're drinking, what you're, doing. It's not so much the place. The place is beautiful, but if you didn't have all those other little things, it wouldn't be your favorite place. So I think your heart really sticks with people and experiences more than anything.
That is so true.
That's amazing. Oh, I definitely am adding that to my list.
I
And I
will.
want to hike the path of God.
Yes, I will
I,
send
I
you the
want to do
link.
that. Yes, please do. I would love to see it. Yes, please do. Well, this is amazing. Jennifer, you are amazing. I'm so honored to have you on my show. Can you share with our listeners how they can get a hold of you?
Sure. My website is onboardwithus.com,
Nice.
and my email address is jennifer@onboardwithus.com.
That's perfect. Well, thank you, thank you, thank you. I really enjoyed our time together and look forward to having you on the show later again.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you. Thank you for listening to Tech in the Right Direction. Please take a minute to subscribe or follow so that you never miss an episode. Also, don't forget to like, share, and comment. Thank you. See you next week.
From IT skill enhancements to end user adoption training, Directions Training is your resource to help optimize the effectiveness of your technology investments. Over 500,000 students have taken advantage of our wide selection of technology and business training solutions, covering the most popular applications today, such as Microsoft 365, Azure, Windows 10, and more. As a podcast listener, we invite you to take advantage of an exclusive offer. Receive 30 days of free access to our Microsoft official curriculum on-demand courses for IT professionals or end users. Visit us at www.directionstraining.com/podcast to claim this offer today. Hurry, this offer is only available for a limited time. Success is a journey. Ask for directions.